Hey guys and gals, good morning. My name's Eric Yamamoto. I'm a storyboard artist trying out a new camera setup. It's on my Cintiq, so I don't have to keep looking up like this. And what do I want to talk about today? So something that I was talking, or my wife actually brought up to me, was don't talk about how bad the economy is right now. It's not a bad economy. And I'm like, okay, you're right. It's not a bad economy. It's a changing economy. The economy is evolving right now. New things are coming in. There was a pandemic. Everything is shifting. And that's okay because we're all living in change. And that's the one thing we can't stop is change. But that being said, hey, Bruce, what's up, man? I think Adriana is on as well. Hello, Adriana. Hello, hello. But we're going to start off with some figure drawing just because I really enjoyed it yesterday. I'm going to be using Clip Studio. And let's get to it. Boom. Oh, and again, check out the Discord, and I will be having that up there. The figure drawing, if you want to follow along. I might be looking up time to time because that's my screen. Let's do it. All right. Let me just set up really quick. Zoom it on in. I put my brushies over here. All right. Let's do this. Start the session. 15 seconds. Now for this, I want you guys to just concentrate on the gesture. Wait, let me pause it really quick. So, Adriana, how do you say gesture in Spanish? Let me see. Yes.
Early Father's Day.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Wow. You are the best.
No, it says that I love hearts. You are the rainbow best dad.
I love it. Can I show it to everybody online? Yeah? Okay, cool. I'll see you tonight, okay?
Why tonight?
Grandma's. Thank you,
Yeah,
sweetie.
I'm gonna do Miami too, Dad.
Okay. Okay. Or, I forgot it's Father's Day.
What? Wait.
So let's see. My daughter made me a Father's Day card, which is beautiful. Okay. So gesture is um yeah, I know she's so sweet, but she knows what she knows what she wants. It's so funny. I was looking up at the camera up here, but the camera's down here. I forgot. Here, I'm gonna bring this back up just because I know that that's where it is. Give me a sec. All right, it's been 6 minutes. All right. So, Adriana, how do you say gesture? Yeah, in español. En español. Good job. Today is where you want to put it right down here. June. Junio. 14. How do you say 14? 50? No. 50. 14. 14. You are. Junio.
You're supposed to do the number of
Ah.
What
What is that? 6.
You do it.
Yeah. 6. 14. Perfecto. Muchas gracias. My daughter is too sweet. She's too sweet.
You're doing that.
Yep. Hey, Kirby.
I want to.
Okay, this is my daughter. This is recording right now. Say hi. Say hello, world.
Hello, world.
Yep. This is my daughter, and Adriana is from Mexico. Bruce is from Florida. And Kirby is from Japan.
Huh?
Yeah, he's all the way in Japan. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to get back to it, okay? Oh, yes. My daughter made the... Oh, Wisconsin. Oh, my bad. This is what my daughter made. She's got the talent. Beautiful. Wait. No. I'm going to keep it right back here, okay? So the world can see. Cool?
I want to see it on there. Where is it?
Thanks, Bruce. Let me see. Yeah, I can't see it either. Let me see.
Oh, I see it now.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it, but it's like tiny.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
It's right over here.
Yup. Perfecto. All right, sweetie. I love you. I'll see you tonight, okay? Because we're gonna pick you up and we're gonna go camping. All right. Oh, keep it open, please. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, just so the internet can go in and out. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay. That was really nice. So, okay. Gesture in Spanish is gesto. Gesto? Is it gesto or gesto? All right. So, when I'm looking at the image, what I need to remind myself a lot of times is to find the flow of the line. Oh, no. I got to remember. Like, what should I call this? I should call this the letter E or I. I like doing that just so I know that, well, I know the midpoint is where the pelvis or where the crotch is. And then I like to draw the legs in first. Just so I know where everything's balanced in gravity. And then I come up here to her torso. And then now it's kind of like wherever my eye goes. But then what is she doing? She's turning. So, found out that my cat has like rocks in her stomach. So, you know, she's sediment. I like calling it rocks because it's just a little more dramatic, especially for a live stream. But she wants to go outside so bad and eat more sediment. But man, that was an expensive fix. So yeah, try to draw that chair in there because what the chair does, it helps you see the gravity. I know it's kind of obvious, but Ralph Edits, what's up, man? Detailed and it depends. It really depends. It's anatomy helps with knowing the flow of the figure. But no, I mean, yes, let's just say yes, it is important, but no, it's not. I mean, like, what anatomy do we see here? I mean, we see an arm, see a leg. But, you know, anatomy always helps, but you don't want to do this. You don't want to, like painstakingly, like, okay, here's the lat. The lat connects from here to here. That's the lat. And then you have your obliques right here. Then you have the gluteus maximus right here. You have the gluteus medius right here. And then you have the hamstrings, which is actually like the bicep. have right here this band right here. I forgot what that's called. Then you have the, what is that? Gastrocnemius, I think it's called. The calf muscle. But so like, I mean, knowing the anatomy is so important. But when you're doing storyboards and stuff, and when you're doing it so fast, no. It should just kind of come out naturally, like language. Like, do you need to know grammar to know a language? I mean, yes. But when you're talking, do you think about the grammar? No. So it's something like that. But I would absolutely learn anatomy, so you could break it all down. Okay. But I wouldn't learn anatomy first. I would learn gesture first. No. Sorry. I'll learn how to draw a cycle first. First a cycle. And then learn how to draw a square. And then, damn it. And then learn how to draw a triangle. Many different types of triangles. Because these you're going to be using all day long. And then you want to learn how to draw an ellipse. All different types. There's different angles of them. You can get like in so much detail about the angle of ellipses, which maybe I could go over in another video. And then after you get all these down, well, then you go into spheres. Basically spheres. I mean, this is very basic, I know, but these basics are so important. These are fundamentals. These are like your ABC. This is your alphabet, basically. And then bye. And then you want to see like, okay, here's, I mean, you guys see me drawing this sphere all the time. Because eventually this is dot. Because if you were to go in there, it would literally see how I can manipulate it? Like it first was right here, but then it went right here. Then I manipulated it to go down there. Bro, turn off all notifications. Okay. And then once you get your spheres down, and then you get your cubes. Have I created any storyboards from scratch with your own story? It's a good question. Yes. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to make films. So I took my dad's camera, which was a Beta camera, and I shot a film. And it was such a great experience because I just hit record the whole time. And when I watched it, oh my God, it was so long, but I didn't know how to make it shorter. Until one day I figured out, oh my gosh, I just have to hit the stop button and then change where I point the camera and hit start. and I watch it back, and I created my first cut. And that was an amazing discovery, because from there, I was able to play around and figure out, oh my God, I could actually move the camera here, and it could be this, move the camera there, it could be that. I know it sounds very like basic, but at 8 years old, it was like a revelation. But what happened after that was I started to have a lot of I wanted to make bigger films with my family and stuff whenever they came over for like Thanksgiving or Christmas or a birthday party. But I only had a limited amount of time because they were only there for maybe a couple hours. So I had to storyboard stuff out. And my mom taught me at the beginning because she's an animator. But I learned that you need to plan this stuff out, especially if you're in like a contained amount of time. So I know exactly what I was going to get. So in that way, Raphael, yes, I did create it from scratch. But as an adult, yeah, I've done it with my own stories. But maybe I think a better question and what I want to do is to create a comic, is to create a graphic novel. I think that would be more in line with my own story. And that's something I want to explore on this live stream one day. Just not sure when. And yeah, I don't know if it should be printed. I don't know if it should be a web comic. I don't really know that space quite yet. But thank you for the question. Adriana, what was your first job as a storyboarder? Okay. So my first job as a storyboarder, like actually getting paid for. So I was at an agency called Storyboards Inc., which is now called Ampersand. And what I did was I kept sending them my portfolio. They wouldn't get back to me because they were going through a move. They were moving from one location to a new location. And what ended up happening was, here, let me put this here just because it's talking stories right now. What ended up happening finally, after, I say this a lot, but just like kids, they will keep saying, can I watch the tablet? Can I please watch the tablet? Can I please? No. Yes, you did. Yeah. And I keep saying, with kids, you're saying, they're asking, can I have a tablet? Can I have the tablet? Please, please, please. And it's like, no. And then finally they scream, can I please have the tablet? Okay, fine. Just all right. Yes. Go take the tablet. So that's kind of like what happened with the getting in with Storyboards Inc. You got to keep knocking on that door. Even if they're saying, oh, well, look at your portfolio. Oh, well, look at your portfolio. Oh, yeah. That persistence. I just kept going. And finally they said, okay, I'll take a look at, wow, this is great. This is really good stuff. Okay. It's very loose. You have an understanding of how to draw people, perspective, all those types of things, tone. And okay, we'll put you up for some jobs. And, it was a waiting game. And then finally they gave me a call at 2:30 p.m. or no, at like 12 p.m. And they said, can you take a job at 3 p.m. today? I'm like, oh yeah, of course. And they said, but the thing is we need it to be delivered by next morning at 8 a.m. And I'm like, that's fine. I will do it. Yes. Okay. Go here and meet with the director and let's see how you do. Good luck. So I went I was there with the director, had my pencil and paper, and I was sketching out with him, and we were trying to break down the script, and it was a commercial for the Navy. And it was great. Got out of there around, maybe like 5 p.m. Went back home, started working from 6 till like 5 in the morning. And so my first job was an all-nighter. Give me a sec. There's one thing I wanted to change. Because does it bother you guys that my music keeps turning down as I speak? Last night I was rewatching. I would say rather than insist, I was persistent. I just kept going, and I guess insist and persistence is kind of the same thing. All right. Let me go to my filters, edit filters. Test. Test, test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Ralph, edit says, we care about what you're saying, not the music. I love that. Thank you, Raphael. All right. I will, why don't I turn down the music? Is that a little bit better? Test, test, test. Yeah. All right. Sorry, give me a sec. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, cool. So anyways, I did my first all-nighter, and I loved it. I had such a great time doing it. It was, they had some changes the next day, of course, got on it, but I knew that this was what I wanted to do. Oh. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, my bad. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. Is that better? Can you hear? Great. Great. Let me try something. Oh, okay. I was muted earlier. Test, 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 test. Does this sound all right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, basically what I was saying, I mean, it was kind of just filler, but the next day I went in and they had a couple changes and it went well. When I was sitting with the director the night before, the night before, I was basically kind of doing the roughs, the thumbnails, figuring it all out. And that was my first taste drawing in front of somebody. And it's nerve-wracking as hell. But why did they hire me? Because they can't express themselves with drawing. So that's one of the things I remember till today, that people can't do what we do. Even though you think that you don't know how to draw or what you do, because that's what you're focusing on. So don't lose sight of that. You all have talent. You're translating words into images, and it all starts with figure drawing. So that's what I take away from all of this. So keep doing figure drawing. Try to get to live sessions if you can. But if you can't, then, use reference. Yeah, any other questions? I mean, feel free to ask questions as we keep going. But going back to what I was showing you, this is our alphabet. This is our grammar. You got your boxes, and you got to learn how to turn that box into different views. Like, let's try to, this is not easy. Absolutely, Adriana. Thank you for listening. If we were to tip it this way, I know that this edge would move up like this. And would probably go like this. I'm not even getting into perspective yet. Excuse me. It's funny, when I draw slow, it's hard for me to see it, because give me a second. See what's happening here. If I go like this, say we tilt. Show us sketching. Keep sketching, Eric. Stop all this stuff. I'm just kidding. But no, yeah. But again, these are the basics. And what I'm trying to show you guys is that you got to get your fundamentals down. But anyways, you guys can figure this out. I could show you another time, maybe in a different video, or maybe it's something I pre-record, but just kind of show you guys how to manipulate this stuff is basically what I do. All right, here. If you want to see me sketch, go ahead and throw a like on this, and then I'll start sketching. All right. Let's do this. Oh, that's so funny, you guys. I've had this on the video. That's what you're trying to say, Raphael. I thought I had it on the screen the whole time, but it wasn't on the screen. This is what you meant. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to be like, show me how to draw. All you were trying to say was, please share your screen. Gotcha. Sorry for the miscommunication. Anyhow, what I was showing earlier was after you draw your spheres, after you understand like the concept of spheres, which is the grammar. Adriana, thank you for laughing at that. Then you go into your cubes. And you you start turning that cube. Now, I learned this little trick with turning the cube through, what is this guy? Kushart? I don't remember his name. But basically what he does is he goes like this. Oh, no. Let me show it flat before I put it in perspective. So what he does is he goes from here to here, here to here, and basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to turn this cube around. So look at that. We just turned the cube 45 degrees. Y'all with me still? If you're still with me, send a heart in the chat. I don't know. Just so I know. I always need feedback. Cool. Oh, I meant this little heart thingy. These little dudes. But hey, the heart right there is great too. Cool. There. Great. So anyways, so when you understand it like this, then you could translate it like this. Nice. If that blew your mind, if that was pretty cool, put the little do the little party little thingy, the party emoji, whatever we want to call it. This little thing. Yay, or this one. What does that mean? What does this one mean? Is this like, oh my god, my eyes. Party. Nice. All right. So basically, then now we know how to. So that's basically what we just did was did this. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Like this, and we turned it like that. But what if we want to get it in smaller increments? So let's go back to the example. So again, we do this. What I wanted to say is, do you guys, if you understand why I make this X right here, just put 100% in the little emoji thing, just so I know. Okay, I don't see any 100%. So, okay, cool. Got 100%. So what okay, there's only one 100%. There's 10 viewers on, so only one person out of 10 understand it. So I will explain. The reason why I do the X is to find the midpoint. Hey, Odd One Cafe. Cool. 100%. You got it. Great. So I do this to find the midpoint, because when you go right here, like, it's kind of hard to find the midpoint when you're just doing that, you know. I mean, yeah, you can kind of guess it's like right here, because we're cutting this in half like this. So I mean, that works, but why not just already have the points right here and just go boom, boom? You know, look, I was a little off, but anyways, I do that to find the midpoint. Throw a party sign up if that made sense. Any party signals? Maybe I'm a little delayed. But it's all good. Anyhow, so the next thing that I do is... Oh, Frank, what's up, brother? Nice. We're going camping this weekend. I might need some flashlights because I'm coming in tonight, kind of late. And I hear that you got some flashlights. So anyways, once we figure this out, what I do is I find the midpoint here. Like that, like that. Nice. I think this is how I do it. Yeah. I haven't done this in a long time. So we come here and right here. And we split it down this way. Then we go over here. Yeah, bro, I haven't even packed yet. And I have to take a call at 11 a.m. It's in an hour. So I'm splitting this all up like this. And then from here, how do I do this? Remember, so if I'm right here to right there, so that's this one. I gotta move this over. Ah, yes, gotta move this over here. Like this. Is that it? This, oh. I think it's from here to here. It's all geometry, man. Here to here. So, I think that's how you do it. I could be wrong, but that's a smaller increment. So what we did, we have this right here. Copy, paste. So what we did first was from here, we moved it to about like right here. And then I moved it like right there. That's the next thing I did. So maybe I could just deconstruct it. So from here to here. So I had it. So let's see. Now this is not a perfect square, it's a rectangle. So right here. Well, anyways, so what I did was I'm basically rotating it more. Right here. Sorry, is this making sense, you guys, or am I just kind of like not making sense? I wish there was a little question mark emoji. This is how I feel right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel you. Okay. I'll have to look this one up a little later so I could explain it to you guys a little bit better. But let's see. I think maybe it's thirds. Yeah, you know, forget the increments right now. You're not going to really need it that much. I mean, you're basically, this is, if they're like, oh, look, it's a little too high, make it a little lower. So you're going to just go like, you go like this. You're taking these right here and you're moving these guys closer. See that? See, like if you take these away, if you take those away, this line right here, see how they're closer together and the angles change? Like as a 2D surface, like this is shorter, this is longer. Anyways, but then after you learn how to do your cubes, then what you need to do is learn how to combine these two. So you're going from a soft surface to more of a hard surface. Like that. Not perfect. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry about being perfect. I forgot to mention, like once you get your sphere down, you got to connect two spheres. And then once you connect those two spheres, then you could do things like this. The spheres could twist. And then you could do like a smaller sphere like this. But again, it just depends on what you're doing. And then like this is like the start of your torso. You know, I was honestly thinking maybe I should try to do a master class. Just don't know how to do that. But it's funny. There are things that you're going to remember, and there's things that you're going to forget. The reason why you forget things is because new information comes in. And like storytelling, that's like a whole nother aspect to storyboarding that we haven't even, I've touched upon, but I haven't touched upon this fundamental stuff. And this fundamental stuff of shapes and volumes and all those types of things are like the building blocks to get you to storytelling. Because if you just have the storytelling, then you're a writer, you know. You need your fundamentals. But what I tell everybody is that story is in your blood. It's in your DNA. We're humans. So you have it in you. Oops. You have it in you. All you need to do is let it out. Ah, hey, odd one. No worries about changing the subject. But yes, how do you compose your shots? That's a whole nother topic in itself. And perspective, that's a whole nother topic, which is great. I love talking about that. That's one of my favorite things because perspective is your camera. I feel like I have things down, like the drawing fundamentals, decently enough as single subjects, but I struggle putting everything together. Okay. So let's see how much time I got. It's 10:03. All right, I gotta jump into a meeting at 11. See what. Let me see. Let me just make sure. I got my Zoom link. Nope, haven't gotten the Zoom link yet. So far, so good. All right. So, just let me just finish this thought. So, the last thing that I do after you get your spheres, cubes, and like, you know, having one object go into the other object like that. After you understand all this, once you understand all this stuff, then the last thing is this. A rectangle, you say? Wrong. This is a motherfucking ellipse. It's a motherfucking cylinder. This cylinder, but I like to say a cone. It's a cone. It's more dynamic than a cylinder. We don't have Coke bottles for arms. Oh, that hurt. Oh, my shoulder. We don't have Coke bottles for arms. But I'm definitely guilty of making it look like parallel lines. I don't know, just the human mind thinks of this as, oh, odd one. Throw me a like. If you guys haven't, throw me a like on this video. I have to say that more often because, you know, I'm only getting 3 likes and it's like, I don't know if this is valuable. So if it's not valuable, why am I talking about it? You know? Or why even have this channel if it's not valuable, you know? Anyhow. So yeah, learning how to turn all this stuff into space. So now you have all your basic shapes. You have you can now draw your head like this. But now I threw this shape, which is like, you know, this shape right here, like where the jaw and all that stuff, like that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother like bone. Like, now you're getting into anatomy. And that we do, that's when you start getting into the nuances of the anatomy. But see, like right here, I'm just kind of simplifying it because I already understand it. You know, like maybe like 70, maybe 80% I understand. You know, but I don't need to know all the ridges and all of the like, I mean, well, you kind of do, but eventually you start getting it. You start getting it. But we'll get into breaking down the head and the figure and like, let's say here's the jaw. But it's like 3D modeling, but you're doing it with your drawings. And I'd be curious to see how long it takes someone to draw a skull versus modeling one in ZBrush. But anyways, okay, composition. Composition is basically organizing. So in film, they call it mise en scène. I don't know. Have you guys heard of that before? Mise en scène. I think it's a French word. Throw 100% in the chat if you've heard of that before. It's a film term. Maybe Frank, I think you might have heard of this. Mise en scène. Mise en scène, I think. I'm really bastardizing this. There it is. Mise en scène. So, mise en scène is the arrangement of scenery and stage properties in a play. So it's basically whatever's in front of the camera. So you're organizing all these things in front of the camera. So, like, for example, exactly, Frank, composition. And also, one of the things that's in front of the camera, not only the objects, but the light. The light is part of it, the shadows. And that's also part of, I would say the light is an actor as well. Brian Wang, what's up? Thank you for the heart. So let's break it down a little bit. So let's say you want... Oh, I have an idea. For example, let me go to Shot Deck. This is the meat of picture making, 100%. So, it really is, Frank. People don't notice it, but it's right in front of you. The light and shadows create the depth. Light and shadows, that's how your eyes see. Okay. So, we have some people sitting right here inside of a room. Well, you always got to come through and understand, well, what is the reason for the shot? Because, you know, you could just throw some stuff inside. You could just draw some stuff. You could throw some things in front of the camera, but you want it to look somewhat pleasing. But, you know, it keeps changing. Like, for example, I love the idea of how, what's his name? Steven Spielberg, how he, in Close Encounters, he had that lens flare in, and before that, everyone did not like lens flares because it looked dirty, it looked like it was unintentional, but he made it look intentional, and it gives this spectacle, this feeling of something larger than life. So that's something so human that you're able to use the imperfections as aesthetic. So, like, a big thing, maybe like started around like 10 years ago, I think. Like, people started like cropping, you know, like instead of having a person right here, right straight in the center, you know, maybe like 50 years ago, or maybe even, no, Da Vinci, like in the 1600s, maybe even further down the line, they taught the golden ratio, you know, so have it all line up on the thirds, you know. And then you have people. I do not think this is a 90s thing. I really think it's like a 2000s, late 2000s, mid 2000s, where people started to crop. You know, crop people out. I mean, that's still kind of balanced, but it's more like they crop people out like, let's say here's a figure, right? Let's say this figure's looking up like that, maybe. Like people would start cropping like this and stuff. Like just odd crops like that. And it just like why do that? Well, it creates some uneasiness. Also, I think the German expressionists did like Dutch angles. Man, you know, I got to really learn more of my film history and stuff. But you can create. Okay, so there was this guy, John Kricfalusi. Yes, he's a pedophile. But he created Ren and Stimpy, and he sent some animation back to, or I think he sent it overseas or something, and it came back, and like as he was watching each frame, 24 frames per second, one of those frames, 1/24th, somewhere in there was this like weird black like blob of a dot right there, and most people would say, no, I don't like that. What the heck? I send this over to another country to animate, and they just they put a black dot. What the heck? But he embraced it, just like how Steven Spielberg embraced the lens flare. And I remember in college, I actually shot on 16 millimeter a film. Maybe I should show that one of these days. I gotta find it though. And it started, it went overexposed and then underexposed, and it did this weird like over under. So real light, real dark, real light, real dark. And I was stuck with it. I couldn't refilm it, because I would film it and then I'd have to send it to the lab, and then, a couple weeks later it would come back, and then I'd have to rewatch it, then I'd have to transfer it. It's just so much part of the process that, I just had to embrace it. And it actually was really beautiful. It actually worked. So sometimes embracing your mistakes can create art if you put the meaning behind it. That's what I think we could do. And that's what I also think AI cannot do. Artificial intelligence cannot create something new. That's why our humanity has to put meaning to the things that are flawed. And those flaws is what creates us as humans. Does that make sense? Throw me 100% if that makes sense. Throw me a little like that little dude that's like, if it doesn't make sense. But anyways, cool. Yeah, I really want to interview Frank Bello one of these days. So I'm going to have him come on a live stream. I was first, debating, should it be a live stream? Should I, pre-record it? But I think we're going to try a live stream because Frank, he's on set and he's a grip. And what a grip does, we'll get into it. But basically, he's the one who manipulates the shadows. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Is that cool, Frank? What do you think? Want to go? Not today, because I know you're packing. I got to pack. But maybe sometime next week or something, if you're not working. But sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast right there. But I'm getting excited. But anyways, back to composition. What I like to do is dope. First, it's organizing the elements in space. So the way I was taught, and this was from the Famous Artists course that came out in the 60s, different artists were introduced, like Norman Rockwell did some tutorials. Albert Dorn did some tutorials. Robert Fawcett, just the great American illustrators that we all wish to become. I don't remember who taught it, but let's say you have a figure. No worries, man. I totally get it. Dishes are very important, very tedious, but they got to get done. No worries about the limit on the chat. But the way that I did it was, or the way that we did, the way that I was taught is, okay, let's say you have a cowboy right here. These aren't going to be pretty. You have a cowboy right here. And then maybe you have maybe you have a cactus. Then you have like maybe another cowboy over here. Then maybe you have a sun. Okay. So these are your elements that you have. So again, this is very basic, but it all adds up. It's like a snowball effect. The more you start getting it, the more you start seeing the reason for it. But then you start moving it around. Well, what if the sun is on this side? What does that do? You start thinking in terms of the placement of these things. Like, should it be that small, or what happens if they're closer together? What happens if maybe they are, what happens if they're like, what happens if they are overlapped like that? And again, go with what is pleasing to you. Like, what if they're overlapped like that? Like, what does it give you? What happens if this character is like lower like that? Then what happens? Let's take the frame away. So this is one approach. You start doing this and it's like, okay, well, let's do that. Well, since they're on the ground right here. Now we're getting into perspective. If we're on the same ground plane as them, well, then you're going to have to make that cactus a little bit longer like that. And then you got to ask yourself, well, where's the camera? Where are we looking? So this is, now I'm going to get into perspective. This is our horizon line. This is literally where the camera, wherever that camera is, that's where that horizon line goes. Like this, wherever it goes, okay? And let's say this right here is our ground line. I know you guys understand. You tell me if you guys know this stuff already by hitting a heart, just so I know. And this is our vanishing point. And what this vanishing point does, I mean, I could get more technical, but I'm trying to just keep this. Okay, cool. So wait, Odd One, in terms of composition, how do you put it all together? I guess, are you wondering how to? All right, well, let me go back to here. So basically, if this is the horizon line, this is your ground line. You know, you can move your ground line up, down, and wherever that ground line is, that's where your people are going to be standing, just like this. Yeah, I gotta actually make this into a video so I can have a little bit more time to talk about it, because my call is going to be coming up pretty soon. And but here's the ground line. So look what's happening when you go like this. What's happening is that the horizon is changing. Look, it's not, look up. Look at that. It became a low angle shot right there. Okay. Come right here. Now we're about eye level with the guy. So wherever the horizon is, that's where you're going to place your characters. So let's say, for instance, the head is, let's do eye level. So we're at eye level. What I like to do is draw a line out right here. And wherever this, so this head is right here. Well, wait a minute. So there's the head. There's the head. It's getting smaller, smaller, smaller. So wherever the horizon line is, that's where you hang that string. It's like a piece of string that's like stringing these guys together, but on the 2D plane, not in 3D, on a 2D plane. So right here, let's have them get even closer to camera. So if we go like this, so there's the character right there. Let's have them get even closer. So now, what if I want a character on this side? Well, just throw their head right there, like this. And now this guy is closer than this guy. Go here to there. Character would be right. This character right here. Actually, he's taller than this guy. If you draw a line from here to here, that's about how tall this guy is if he's over here. But this guy's a little bit taller. So let's just make him the same size for now. What I love about perspective is that it's so scientific that there is a right and wrong, and you can see what is wrong and you can correct it. Now, the human figure, I mean, there are right and wrongs too, but you can exaggerate certain things and you can make it, you could do different things. Anyways, but what happens if I lift this guy? So even if I lift this guy, if I lift it up, see, the perspective is off now. It doesn't work. So it only works wherever. So if I were to do it again, I'd have to restart it. But in 3D, if you have a 3D like Blender or SketchUp, you can manipulate it a little bit quicker. And that's how I do it these days. But anyways, going back to Odd One's about composing your shots and perspective guides, let's just, the way that it starts is with this, is with my shapes, my simple 2D shapes. So as I was showing earlier, you know, you can move this guy up and down wherever you want. Let's say he's up there, right? So the question comes is, well, where are they lining up? Like if I go like this, like I guess the crotch is kind of like where they're lining up, because their shoulders aren't lining up on the 2D plane. It's not lining up. And what I mean by the 2D plane is this. Let's say here are your eyes. You're looking at a two-dimensional, like flat piece of paper. Here's like a 3D object. And on the paper, looks flat. Like this is the 2D plane. So where is it meeting on the 2D plane? I'd say it's kind of like about where the crotch is at. So that is where my horizon line is. That's where the camera is. The camera is like where the waist is. And then from there, I could line up, okay, well, now they're kind of in perspective. Maybe I don't want this cactus right here. Or if I am standing next to the cactus, maybe it's closer to us. But Odd One, if I were you and I wanted to learn more about composition, I would take photos and I would trace them for example, like this photo right here. I would be like, okay, now how do you find where the horizon line is? Well, one way, or the way that I do it, is like this. You look for the converging lines. Okay, so right now I'm looking at the ceiling. See up here, the ceiling? Just because I understand that that's where it's at. And then I look at all the lines that are parallel to the ceiling. And I'm trying to find where they are. I'm assuming they're lining up right here. Okay. And then we have this. So, okay, maybe a vanishing point is right here. So maybe the camera is like kind of like on this line right here. Okay, so there's that. The next part is over here. Like, where now? Where does this line converge? I don't know yet. Let me do it in a different color. Where does this one converge at? No. And then, let's see. We have this line right here, which should be parallel. Let me see. Okay, so it's right here and right there. So our horizon line is right there. Now see, look, right where the chest is, the breast, that is more or less the camera height. See how it's all like in that range? That's the height of the camera. It's about chest height. Does that make sense, you guys? Throw me a heart if it makes sense. Throw me a face if it doesn't make sense. Throw me a party sign if it's like, yeah, that was dope. That was great. I can't believe it. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Nothing. Okay. All good. So anyways. Oh, cool. Now, odd one, did you see that, or did you understand that prior to the question? Nice. Thanks, Frank. Did you know, or okay. I'll wait for your answer, but while I'm waiting for your answer, I'm going to give you one more vanishing point. So this, well, before I do that, this right here is called 2-point perspective. So the reason why it's 2-point perspective is because you have 1 point over here and you have another point right here. There's 2 vanishing points. Boom, boom. Yeah, I guess so. I guess everyone is at work, but that's all. That's all good, you know. All right, let's see. Moving that back up. Anyhow, so the last part is 3-point perspective. I understood about finding horizons and vantage points in photos. What's really helping is seeing your okay, cool. So the last part is there's a third vanishing point, which is the vertical lines. So where are they going? I don't know yet. Let's see. How you start with flat shapes first to set up and compose, then you incorporate the horizon and add the guides after you do the 2D setup. Okay, yes, because the reason why I do the 2D first is so I understand what the story is about, what's happening. And then you add the perspective to give you depth, basically. So there's a third horizon line Now, again, I'm not sure. This might be a spherical lens, which kind of distorts things a bit. I think this one's confusing me. But essentially, I think this third vanishing point is way down here, like somewhere down here. So a great thing about Clip Studio Pro that I love is the perspective tool. And this is a great way to analyze where your perspectives are. So I go to this perspective ruler and I set up where my first lines are. Let's go right here. What's nice about this is fairly accurate. It's like this to this. And see, look, that line is pretty similar to what we had. So there's that point, and now we go to our other, which is over here somewhere. And it automatically locks it, but I might need to move it a little over here. And then there's the third vanishing point, which I think is... Let's start with this, because then I know I could line it up with these bricks. Boom. And then go over here. So like that. And I was right. It's way down here. That's the third vanishing point. Okay. Odd One Cafe. I feel like I've been trying to do everything at once instead of breaking it down to tell the story first. Like I jump almost right to trying to create depth when I haven't figured out the story. With practice, you won't need to do, you could just skip straight to the perspective. Like that's where I'm at. I don't use 2D shapes anymore, but that's just how I like to explain it, because eventually it'll just become kind of intuitive. Kind of like how right now I'm speaking in English and it's intuitive. But when I speak in Espanol, mi cabeza, mi cabeza must think about how to form my sentences. And I want to punch myself in the face because I just can't speak Spanish. My daughter's speaking Spanish fluently, and I'm just so happy for her. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically perspective. I am gonna have to stop right here, you guys, because I need to get ready for this call. But if you guys felt that there was some value that I brought, please send me a like. Please subscribe. I gotta put that out there because it shows me that this stuff is kind of important, that this stuff is kind of interesting. I would love to keep going more into this because there are a lot of things to get through, especially like how do you put people in perspective later? And it gets more complicated as you go down the lines. But I really appreciate all the questions. It was a lot of fun. And everyone that's on right now, I want to just write everybody's name, because I am so appreciative of everybody that showed up. And if you want to throw your, I'm just going to kind of scroll through Adriana. Vallejo. These are my thank yous. We have Brian Wang. I got Odd One Cafe. Frank Bello. Oops. Wait. I'm not even showing. I should be showing. I got who else is in here? Bruce. I know you say you're not the Bruce Lee Bruce, but you should just be like, yeah, I'm totally Bruce Lee. Got Raphael. I got Raphael edits. Who else is in here? Kirby. So yeah, one of these days I am going to try to make a comic on here. And for all of you that make comics, I would love for you to maybe teach me. Who else is on here? Bruce, Kirby. I think so. Scrappy Joe. And Fabian Martinez. Yeah, I'm just wrapping it up right now, Fabian, but please like and subscribe this just to let me know if you guys got any value. Again, for anybody that's just jumping in right now. Fabian. But thank you for coming in, and dropping in. Fabian Martinez. And yeah, thank you all. And what's today? Today's Friday. I'll be back on, Monday. I would love to be back on. And Frank, we'll talk this weekend, figure out how we could do this live stream. Oh, Ryan, what's up, dude? Let me write you in. Ryan Odagawa. Fundamental Fridays, bro. I love that. That's great. Let's do that. I'm gonna write that down. Fundamental Fridays. All right, you guys. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Keep having fun. And yeah. Take care. Bye.